come on. Hi,
I want to
Tina.
know who's eating my face. Yes.
I love that you didn't just raise your hand. You're like, this girl right here. She's on bath salts. She's going crazy. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your insane schedule
Thank
to
you for having me.
spend time with these guys. So appreciated. You just raised $4,000 for Operation Smile. How big
Yes,
is that?
well done.
And you guys know the drill. Who's got it? Oh, boom! You were ready. You were locked and loaded. You're like,
I can't imagine what
I
this
have a
question's
question right now. I will burst if I can't ask it.
Hi. First, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Like, we appreciate you in
Thank
general.
you. Happy to be here.
Thanks. Okay, what was I going to say? I'm so nervous. Wow. I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of Once Upon a Time. It's something that brings so much inspiration and artistic expression to people, and I personally was so inspired by Emma's arc this season that I wrote a song about Emma, and
Cool.
it ended up being this huge thing for me, and so thank you for helping me achieve that life milestone.
I mean, thank you guys for watching. We get to keep doing it because you guys watch, and it inspires us to watch you guys come up with new things as well. All of the fan art and the fan fiction, and you're writing music, and I think that's kind of the point of art, is to inspire other art and to try to feel understood and connected to people. So if that's working, then thank you for doing it back.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Well, I did have a question.
Oh.
Thank you. That was even better.
Sorry, we've taken up too much time.
I thought it was one of those non-question questions.
I tried to make it a question because this isn't my panel, this is your panel. But I was just wondering, what inspired you throughout your process of directing Sundogs? Because I know that was such a big thing for you, and I wanted to hear about that.
Yeah, Sundogs was amazing. Still is. I'm in the post-process now. There's so many things that have inspired me, and I've sort of used my time filming in Vancouver to learn about the films that I love and the stories that I want to tell, and study directors that I feel impacted by. I think every project kind of ends up influenced by different directors. This one in particular has a bit of a Coen Brothers influence, a little bit of Wes Anderson, a lot of Hal Ashby, and it is its own thing, totally separate from that stuff, but there's definitely an element of a world that's a little bit heightened and stylized, with characters who are very real and going through very real problems, but in that kind of stylized world. So I would say those are the more obvious kind of umbrella references.
Copy that, yeah, right here.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Been a fan of yours since the house days. My question is about Emma, and in the different incarnations her character has gone through, from reluctant hero to protective mom to sinister dark one. Which one did you find most gratifying and or fun and or that you like to do the best?
Yeah,
Sinister dark one.
Yep.
That's art imitating life. I mean, it's...
I am so sinister and so dark, you have no idea. Yeah, I do enjoy them all for different reasons, but there is something weirdly liberating about playing a character that is dealing with darkness. I think because we all have things we need to face within ourselves and things that we feel like we need to overcome. And so when you get to manifest those things in some way in a character and deal with them and look at them and consider them, there's something really liberating about it. And I may have talked about this last year at some point, but Eddie and Adam and I were looking at the Dark Swan arc as her 60 feet of flight, because certain black swans can fly 60 feet. And there was this idea that she's without the gravity of having to save people or the gravity of needing to do the right thing. So it was her 60 feet of flight, where she had space to sort of spread her wings. And even though it was in darkness, it was a time for her to work through some things. And then as an actor, it's just nice to have the freedom of not having the same conscience and need to sort of follow certain rules. And so you get to be bad without repercussions. It's kind of great.
I have a question. Swans can only fly 60 feet? Or those ones can fly 60 feet. Does that mean other swans fly less or more
some
than 60 feet?
swans can't fly at all, and some swans can fly further, and some swans can only fly 60 feet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know a lot about swans.
I had no idea. Welcome to Jennifer's Swan Panel, everyone. Yes, right down here.
Nice outfit.
We actually have 7 of us. We've got Regina.
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Wait, you guys have to stand
Look
up.
at
This
this.
is great.
Stand and be counted.
Wow.
Well done.
That is impressive. That's
And I'm the
awesome.
dummy who just thought Ariel happened to be in the panel. I didn't even bother to look down the rest of the row. I'm like,
Like, hey,
Anyway.
hot mermaid in the audience.
you guys look fantastic. And what is your question, Painel?
We actually would like to donate a smile, $240, if you'll take a picture with us after the panel.
Sure.
Is that possible?
How do I?
Yeah.
Well, yes, we'll try and work that out. If we can work it out, have the money ready, and if not, then I'll take a photo with you.
I'll do everything I can.
Yes, right there.
Hi, first of all, thank you for Instagramming my tattoo.
I just Instagrammed her arm.
I was in line and like my friend's like, "Did you see?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Are you alive?" I was like, "What?" And then I saw it. Anyway, okay. Sorry.
To
That
give
was English.
backstory to
That was
that
all
very
language.
confusing thing. She
I did, yeah.
had me write something and then tattooed it on her arm in my handwriting. So I
Yeah.
took a picture.
So a couple years ago at Comic-Con, she said, "Be brave enough to be yourself and be good to each other." And that has really stuck with me and helped me through a lot in the past couple years. So that's why I got it tattooed on my arm. So my question is, if you had to get a quote from anything tattooed on you, what would it be?
There's a reason I don't have tattoos. See, this is my thing with tattoos. I get so, and maybe this is why I love being an actor. You kind of jump from character to character. I think I have commitment issues. I definitely have commitment issues. I just can't think of a tattoo that I wouldn't at some point get sick of. I mean, so then I usually give my characters tattoos because then I get it out of my system.
Yeah.
You wear it for like 3 months.
It is weird though. It's like, yeah, I mean, how many people here have tattoos, by the way?
That's so impressive. You
That's a good
clearly
amount of
don't have
people.
the commitment issues that I have.
Because I've thought about wanting to get a tattoo before too, and then I'm like, but what the hell would I put on my body that I'd be totally cool with if it was there forever?
It means, me saying this means a lot to me that you want that because it means that you're so decided that it means something to you. And I don't think that I've come across the thing that I feel that way about. So I will
aside
search.
from putting it permanently on your body, what's just a quote? What's an inspirational quote that you carry with you that really means a lot?
I think something that stuck with me recently has been, and I have no idea who said it, but someone said they don't write to explain, they write to understand. And I feel like I try to apply that to anything artistic that I do, which is instead of trying to explain or defend or tell, I consider, well, what is it that I'm trying to understand?
Yeah, that's really good. I found this quote the other day, a Dr. Seuss quote. I know this sounds ridiculous, but it's honestly become my favorite quote, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, I think. I might not be. This might be dead on. But it's essentially, you have to be odd to be number one.
I love that.
Like, that is my mind was blown. I was like, Dr. Seuss? Hell yes. One fish, two fish guy? Next question. Holy shit, you guys are fast. I'm gonna go with you because you have dolls in your hands. Fantastic. Those aren't voodoo dolls, are they?
I hope not.
That'd be so weird. It's just like a little me and all this. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell?
My friend Christina made these. She's sitting in the back. She wanted you to
Hi, I
see
see
them.
you.
So this question is bringing it back to last year. How have you treated yourself this year?
Yes.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Well,
Good callback, by the way. I didn't remember I was hammered on that panel.
that was such a fun panel. I guess in like certain ways that it might be a little less obvious. I think that the biggest way I treated myself was by just going after my dream to make Sundogs. And I just sort of unabashedly, I don't know, willed it into existence, I feel like. And for me, that was just something that I've wanted to do for so long and something I believed in, and I felt like I couldn't not do it. And so there was a lot of sacrifice involved, and there was a lot of letting people think that I was insane involved. But it was my way of treating myself.
Fantastic. Yeah, give that a round of applause. Treat yourself. How about right up there? I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep ping ponging. You know, keep it fair. There's like 1,000 people on this side. I'm sorry, it's difficult. Yes, darling.
So I wanted to ask a question actually about House. I'm sure that medical jargon is probably the hardest and possibly the least fun part of doing that kind of being a doctor on a show. What's the most fun part of being on House?
Oh God, there were so many fun things about being on House. I really, I think about it a lot. It's a character, Dr. Cameron is a character that I really miss. There's something about her that I think I recently, I don't know, wrote something about it saying she's like an old friend that I miss. You know, I feel like I haven't seen her in a while. It was such an amazing ensemble of actors in an environment that really strove for excellence at every given moment, no matter what. And there's something really inspiring about being in that environment. And I was 23 years old when I started that show. And
You were 23 when you started House?
yeah.
Did that even make sense? Could you even hear what I was saying?
Yeah.
You were 23?
Yeah, 20, maybe I think I turned 24 during the pilot.
How was that even possible? You know, the first time we met, we did a pilot together. How old were we? Because that was years before that.
It was,
Were we like
it was
12?
in 2000. I had just moved to LA. And it was the untitled Bob Newhart Cisco pilot, because it makes sense to put those two people in a pilot together.
Literally, it was Bob Newhart and the thong song Cisco.
And Zach and me and Kenan Thompson.
And Kenan Thompson. It was the weirdest. I mean, literally, after the table read, like 4 people got fired. We're all going, I'm calling my husband, like, this is going on. I don't know what's happening. And it was so random. It was like a show in a show. It was. This is what executives sit around thinking about. What if we put Bob Newhart and Cisco in a show? Sold. Let's do it.
And I was the crazy actress that lived next door to Cisco and would like come in and give these crazy monologues about I don't even know what.
And then we worked, but then even after that we worked on Campus Bookie together.
Oh, yeah,
and that was
yeah.
still before you were on House.
Yeah. I was, yeah.
So how did that? And you were 23 when you started.
I was 21 when I moved to LA, and then so that would have been the year I would have been 21.
That was the year you
yeah,
moved, was when we did
yeah,
that pilot.
That would have been
Wow.
the Bob Newhart, and then I was probably 22 when we did Campus Bookies.
So that answers your question about House, I think, right?
No, not at all. Anyway, my point about all of that is that, you know, it's where I was like learning how to be a professional. I was learning what this business was going to mean to me and how I was going to handle myself. And that environment really shaped that for me. So it's something that I'll always really be grateful for.
Awesome. I'm gonna go. Yeah. Well, you got somebody pointing at you, so yes, with Thor's hammer, please stand up. Just don't kill anybody.
That's a great idea. If I'm ever wanting to be called on, I'm just gonna get a Thor hammer.
I still can't pronounce it.
It was sitting there the whole time. I don't know why I didn't pick it up. Hello, Jen. I absolutely love you. It's such an honor just to sit here and ask you a question.
You're standing, but okay.
Whatever. I'm already nervous, Zach. Don't worry. Don't make it worse for me. Congratulations on your nomination for the film festival for the Holly short film.
Oh, yeah.
You're such an inspiration, and I just wanted to ask if you could play a character on any of the current shows going on right now, or maybe just guest star, what show would that be?
Can I pick a few?
Yeah.
If you want to.
Okay.
What if everybody was like, no, you can't. We want to know one and one
Well,
only.
I just want to understand the rules within which I'm working. I would love to be on House of Cards. I would love to be on Game of Thrones. I would love to be on The Affair. I know, it's so saucy. I'm so addicted to it.
I love that it was, yes, yes. What about those commitment issues?
I'm just getting into the night manager. Does that continue past?
I don't know. Is it only one season? Oh, they're gonna keep going. But with or without Tom?
Oh,
Okay.
I like that. I loved the first season of True Detective.
Yeah.
Fargo. I love Fargo. It's so good. I can't even believe it's television the way they shoot that. It's just gorgeous. Anyway, yeah, those would be my top ones. Outlander. Okay, my God, how could I forget Outlander? I want some of that kilt.
The look on your
yeah.
face is freaking me out.
Yeah.
In the best of ways. In the best of ways.
I want to go to Scotland and make out with some guys in kilts. That sounds great.
Who doesn't, really?
I'm working on that, so.
Have you seen Stranger Things?
No, what's that?
You gotta
Ooh,
see
do I have a
it.
new show to watch?
I mean, what? I know. They're not paying me to talk about it. I probably brought it up in every panel I've done so far.
Wait, I feel
don't
like
know.
we're having therapy here. What's wait.
It is, isn't it?
Who's on it? What network? Where do I find it?
It's Netflix. It just came out like a week and a half ago, but it's basically an 80s wet dream. It's like Spielberg. It is. It's seriously, the way I explain it, it's like Steven Spielberg and Wes Craven had a baby, but John Hughes had to be the surrogate mom. So that's where it all grew up in. And you get all of those awesome 80s flow and tone and like synth music and actually a lot of, like, they must have paid a lot of money because they're using a lot of actual like 80s music a lot in the show. Yeah. Winona Ryder's in the show, Matthew Modine. It's like Goonies and E.T. and the Thing, and it's fucking awesome. Go.
I'm gonna watch
Why
it.
do I keep plugging this thing? I'm not making any money.
I'm ready. I'm down. I'm ready. I'm almost done with the night manager. I'll watch it.
Checking it. Let's go back over here. Yes, you right there. Bada bing. Hi. Yes.
Oh, Mr. Robot's good too.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi. I'm Martha. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Just quick side note before I ask my question. I was very, very late to the How I Met Your Mother party, and I freaked out when I saw you. I was so excited. Anyway.
There was a party and I wasn't invited. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, with doing like Sundogs and stuff, just like so far in your career, what's the most valuable lesson you've learned so far?
To take nothing personally. Literally. And I feel like directing Sundogs took that to a whole different level of understanding for me. And I think because I was going into that feeling so grateful that people had bet on me and taken a chance on me and put money behind this film when, I had never directed a feature before. I felt like I had to come from a place of just being completely humble at every moment. And the pressure and the stress is so intense and so crazy at times. And the more people who get involved and come on board, the more you feel like you have at stake, so then the more the stress happens. I mean, there were times I literally came home and I thought, like, I might break from the amount of stress pushing out from inside of me. But no one else knew that. I was, to everyone else, I'm like, yeah, everything's great, it's fine. But that being said, every time something came up or someone would get emotional about something or dramatic about something or confrontational about something, I just was like, what do you need and how can I help? And it wasn't always easy to do that. Like, there were times that inside I was like raging, but on the outside I was like, what do you need and how can I help? And serious. But what I learned in that process was that, this is another great quote. I also don't know who said it, but there's another great quote, which is, there's no one who you wouldn't love if you knew their story. And that is so true.
That is really powerful.
Yeah. It is so true when you're in an environment, when you're leading. And every time I was tempted to get upset, and every time I was tempted to get frustrated, and I chose not to, and I chose to listen, and I chose to understand, I chose not to take it personally. As soon as I knew the story, I understood, and I was able to be better at my job, and I was able to help that person be better at what they were doing. And so by not taking things personally and by not going to a place that was completely dramatic and unnecessary, I learned a lot about my own limits, and I also learned a lot about how open-minded I needed to be about what was coming at me, and that a lot of times conflict comes at you, but it's really not about what it seems to be about. That's the other great question. What's this really about? That's a great way to start dealing with conflict. It's like, people freak out, and oftentimes what they're freaking out about isn't really what's upsetting them. So it takes a little while to unwind to get to that place. So yeah, I would say the biggest lesson in the last few years is take nothing personally.
Good answer. God, the power that I have right now. It's just, what if I just sat here for a second and didn't pick anybody? There's going to be a revolt. Yes, you right here. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi. So I have 2 questions real quick. What's your Hogwarts house? Because that's important.
Hogwarts house.
From Harry Potter.
Oh, yes.
Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin. Gryffindor.
Okay.
Excellent choice.
Yes. I'm a Slytherin, so I won't take that personally.
Sorry. I took a quiz, and that's what it told me. I didn't make this decision myself. It's like the stick. It chose me. It was like...
That's fine.
The things we learn on Facebook. What Disney character am I in the sheets? Anybody seen that one? It's on Facebook. Apparently,
Oh God, my brain just exploded with that question.
Yeah. You like Beauty in the streets and like Ariel in the sheets. Like that's what people like. By the way, and that's weird because she's got like fins and shit. Like I have no idea. How does that even work? Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No worries.
God.
I'm okay. If you had the chance to direct an episode of Once Upon a Time, would you?
It's a complicated question because obviously it's something I care about very deeply, and a group of people that I care about very deeply, and I love working with. Right now, I've been able to sort of keep directing as something that I'm only doing out of the true, pure love of my heart. Like, I've never been paid a single dollar to direct. I've only paid money to direct, really. I've only made things that feel like a part of me. And I'm not saying that that necessarily can stay that pure forever, but right now that's something that I really want to hang on to, and I feel like means a lot to me. And so that's kind of the mindset that I'm approaching my directing career from, at least at this moment. And obviously things evolve and things change, and I would never rule anything out entirely, but it's not something that I'm pursuing only because it doesn't really fit into that category of sort of keeping something as a brand new thing that feels like a part of me that I'm creating from the beginning.
And oh my God, that's right. I gotta go with your suit, right? Yeah, right there. That gentleman with the yellow. Yes, who's standing now with the microphone in his hand? That guy right there.
Hi, Jennifer. I'm a fan, but the real reason I'm here is my daughter here. I have 3 daughters, and your name is a household name in my house.
That's so cool. Thank you.
I would like to hear you speak a little bit about playing strong female roles and what that means to you, because you are really a role model. I have 3 daughters, and you are a real role model in my house. They talk about you all the time. And what does stuff like that mean to you?
It means a lot to me to hear that. Sorry.
No, I was.
Were you gonna answer? What
No, I was kidding.
A strong woman.
I was just gonna make a stupid joke.
Actually, my wife texted me earlier for you, Zach, that they were watching Tangled.
No.
Yes. Yes. That they were watching Tangled, and if I got a chance, she wanted me to tell you.
Oh.
With my little one.
Well, if they're watching at home, hi, Eugene Fitzherbert says hello. Oh, you guys are saps. And I love it. Strong female.
Strong female. It means a lot to me to hear that. It truly does, because it's something I take very seriously, especially playing a character like this. Obviously not every character is written in a way where you necessarily feel the pressure to portray that, but Emma is someone who I think should portray that. And I think that I consider myself a strong woman, and I think the thing that I want to make sure to bring to these characters when they are considered strong women is a sense of wholeness. And I think a lot of times we like to categorize things and say that it's all one thing or all another. So it's like, if you're strong, you're hard and you're tough and you never cry and you're fine and you don't need anyone and you don't need a man and this and that and that. And then it's like, if you're vulnerable, then you're soft and you're sweet and you take care of some guy. And, it's like people like to kind of delineate these two categories. And I'm not all one and I'm not all other as me, Jennifer Morrison. I can be extremely strong and I can be really tough and I can stand up for myself and I can take care of myself. But there's also things that hurt me and there's also things that make me very vulnerable and there's also people I care about very deeply and I'm very open with and I let them close enough to me that they could hurt me, And I think it's really important to try to bring that wholeness to these characters because otherwise you're setting up young girls to have an unrealistic expectation of what it means to be strong. And I think that it takes an incredible strength to be vulnerable. So to see vulnerability as a strength next to the strength of being able to take care of yourself, being able to think for yourself, being able to be smart and bright and creative and in control of your destiny, I think all of those things are important to show together. So it means a lot to me to hear that your daughters see Emma that way and see me that way. And it means that hopefully I'm doing something right with what I'm bringing to the character. But I do really try to bring that to Emma. I do try to let her show those moments of vulnerability and show those moments where she could be hurt or she could be fallible because we do all make mistakes. No one's perfect. No one should be expected to be perfect. It's too much pressure and we would crumble. And you need a community and you need love. Those things are so crucial in life. And to tell a young girl that those things are not crucial in life is unfair. So, so I try to include all that.
I'm gonna go right there. Yes, you right there. Yes. Oh, shit! He actually called on me. Oh, what do I do now? Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Just to be in the same room with you, Zachary, you're one of my heroes. It's like freaking me out.
Really?
I'm freaking.
You realize you're on Jennifer's panel, right?
I know. Jennifer,
But they all are my panels, so it's fine.
And I have a lot of respect for you. You're an amazing human. And my question for you is,
How much does she like me?
yes. As a child growing up, what was your favorite story or book or, yeah, that's my.
I had a lot. I was very lucky. I grew up in a house with a lot of reading and a lot of books and a lot of stories. My first book that I really responded to was The Night Before Christmas because I memorized it. So I really wanted to be able to read before I could read, so I would pretend like I could read by memorizing the book. So, it's like, it'd be like, my dad would be like, The Night Before Christmas, and all through that, and I go, house! And not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse! I was just so excited. So that was, I don't know, there was, that story always gives me warm feelings. I read my parents read to me the Shel Silverstein stories, which were a big part of my childhood. I loved Mary Poppins. I loved Alice in Wonderland. I'm trying to think what else they read to us. A lot of those stories. And then, we watched all those early Disney movies, and those stories did really impact us. I mean, my God, The Little Mermaid, it's probably the only thing I know all the words to. But yeah, so those were kind of the early stories that really touched my childhood.
Let's go over here. Yes, you right there. Are you Belle?
Maybe. She is.
Maybe.
Hi, Emma. First off, not Emma.
It's okay. I'm also Emma.
Anyway, because I was gonna say the latest arc with Emma and Hook, I cried towards the end of that entire season.
Can we just for a second talk about the fact that I cried in every single episode?
Yeah.
I have nothing left to cry over, folks. Anyway, go ahead.
But my question is, have you noticed if having the experience of directing, how's that affecting your acting, or if that kind of gives you a different perspective on anything?
Yeah, I think, I said once that acting made me a better director, directing made me a better actor, and both make me a better producer. And that's just the truth. There's no way you can do one and not have it impact the other. I think mostly with directing, it's not that it's changed me as an actor, because I don't think I'm a different actor. I don't have a different process. I don't have a different approach. It's that I'm more aware of the technical elements that go into it in a way where I can try to be a more effective visual storyteller as an actor. So I am more aware of what lens we're shooting on, how close we are to me, what those lenses do, because certain lenses sort of distort your face if you're close to the lens, and certain lenses kind of shrink you, and distance between two people changes based on what a lens looks like. If you see two eyes as opposed to an eye and almost a second eye, like how much of the performance is effective. So because I've spent enough time now watching other people under those circumstances, I'm a little more prone to ask what the technical circumstances are in order to be able to fit the emotional thing I'm doing into the visual thing that's happening in order to try to give the most effective performance.
Let's go right. We haven't got anybody from the front row yet. That's right here. And by the way, we have maybe time for one more question after yours. Oh, I'm
no
sorry.
So first, I love your rings. Those are gorgeous. You always look so stylish.
Thank you.
Okay, but I have a question. Now you have established yourself as Emma, and you had a lot of great roles before that. But when you were first starting out, was there a role or something that's on film where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry, world. And maybe it's your pilot with Zach.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Where do I begin? I don't know about yours.
I feel like there's a lot of those out there. This is partly why I wanted to start directing. When you get involved in a project, you might love the script, you might love the character, you might really believe in it, you might do so much work, and you might show up and be great every day. And you have no control over what parts of it they choose, and you have no control over how they cut it together, you have no control. And so there can be a lot of great ingredients to a project, and it can still end up being a really shitty meal. Is that okay to say?
Say whatever the fuck you want. I mean, I don't care.
It's true, right? I mean, it's just true. So, I think that when you're an artist, you are always a little bit dissatisfied. I can't think of a single thing I've looked at and been like, yeah, I nailed it. You always look at it and go okay, I know I gave my best, but I could have done that, and maybe there could have been that, and I didn't think of this thing. And so you're sort of there's always a little bit of dissatisfaction as an artist. And I don't know that that's a good or a bad thing. I think that you need to have that yearning and wanting to be better in order to keep getting better. And I'm certainly not someone who thinks you need to suffer or anything like that, but I do think there's always
it spurs
more.
you on. It spurs
Yeah,
you
there's
on.
always, to live is to want, so you need to want more. And so I can't say that there's anything I can point at and say yeah, that's it, I did it. Everything I look at, I see what more I could have done, or what more I didn't know at the moment that I know now, and God, I wish I could go back. But in addition to the natural amounts of wanting to do better, there are definitely the stinkers out there.
And even though, and you maybe you disagree, but I think even the stinkers, you still learn so much.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
to go
absolutely.
back and say, oh, I wish I wouldn't go and do that, is the same as going back and looking at the mistakes that we make. Even though the stinkers may very well not be completely out of our control because of the editor or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But they still, and then you go, oh, I guess I'm not going to work with that person anymore. And I learned that lesson
you
or
learn
whatever.
what to say no to.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes in this business, what you say no to is more powerful than what you say yes to.
Yeah. We got time for one. Don't make it a really hard, complicated question. I'm going to go right here. Sorry.
How do you live with your guilt, Zach?
I know it's hard. Well, all these guys are so awesome. They come out to all
No,
these
you guys are
panels,
amazing.
and I just,
This
and
is my favorite part of Comic-Con. It's my favorite,
babe.
favorite thing.
Thank
Seriously.
you.
I just had a quick question. I loved you in Star Trek too.
Oh,
When you were
thanks.
little in the beginning,
Yeah.
and I've heard that Chris Hemsworth is possibly coming back for
4 for George.
Yeah, I heard that too. I have not heard anything, but they're writing the script, so, you know, I mean, he's Thor. Who knows?
Is that something that, I mean,
I would
that
love to
you would
do
love-
it. I mean,
okay.
I would absolutely love to do it. It would be a dream. I absolutely love J.J. Abrams. I'm so in awe of him and grateful to him. He's been incredibly kind and generous with me as an actor, and I would do anything to work on that again. I think Chris Hemsworth is a lovely, incredible human being. I would love to work with him again. I mean, everyone involved in that project. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, if fate will allow and if the story goes that way, I mean, I would be there in a heartbeat.
It's too bad Chris Hemsworth is so ugly. That must have really sucked.
It's a rough life.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Jennifer Morrison. Thank you, Jennifer. Keep it going, 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 keep it going. For $240, right? $240. About 400 and... we're gonna try and get you guys out there ASAP. We're gonna try and make that happen. She's got a real hard out because she's got to do a whole bunch of other press. So if we can make it happen, I absolutely will. But let's make sure that these guys get expedited to that spot. We can take a picture. Did you guys all enjoy that? Yeah! Fantastic. Love you guys. God bless you guys. Keep enjoying your weekend. We'll see you soon. Bye.